What's up, witches? Here we are, another tea and tarot. Come on in the building, get comfy. Of course, get yourself a cup of tea. It's only right. It is tea and tarot. If you are enjoying a cup of tea this evening, drop it in the chat. Let me know what you are sipping on for this tea and tarot. And while everyone is sharing what they are sipping on, for those of you that are new here, welcome, welcome. I am Allie Kravitz, aka Bronx Witch. I am the founder of Witchwork and the CEO of BetterWitch Coaching. Witchwork is the only co-working space for spiritual and wellness practitioners in New York City. We're located in the Bronx, right near Yankee Stadium. And BetterWitch Coaching is my class and coaching platform. I teach about magic, spirituality, and spiritual entrepreneurship. I also offer one-to-one coaching on all of those topics. And we are getting into I wouldn't say getting into, we are very much in the middle of a very interesting point in the year. And I think a lot of the things that are happening around us, politically, socially, and otherwise, are a strong indication of those shifts, of those energies. And what I like to do every month is I like to come live with my better witches here in the bunker and allow us to connect with spirit for some guidance through each of these chapters and transitions that each month is bringing us through. The way I do this is I start off with a collective reading that I also sharing with our friends on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, also drop a comment, say hello, share what tea you are sipping on. But once I'm done with the collective reading, we'll say goodbye to YouTube and I will just be live in the bunker with my better witches to take one-on-one questions that folks might have and might want to present to spirit and receive a message through the cards. So if you want to be a part of that experience, if you want to be a part of the bunker, there should be a link down in the description below that will allow you to join us. And I posted on Instagram today that it's finally become really clear to me why I needed to start the bunker in the first place. I started the bunker right after the most recent presidential election. And I actually started it right before, like it started to come together in the weeks before. I started to tell people about it and started to put together this concept of a space, but I didn't know what to call it. And on the morning after the election, of course, we found ourselves with our current president, for better or worse. And the energy was really heavy that next morning. You know, I'm here in New York City and I am a person of color. I am a woman. I'm queer. I am spiritual. I'm not Christian. So for all of these reasons, the current president is somebody that is rather scary to me. And I could feel that energy around me being here in New York City. And I was trying to film like a little post in order to share my thoughts on what had just happened and to maybe offer some encouragement and some positive thoughts to folks who follow me. And as I was recording, I was like trying to like describe the virtual space that I had created, and it like all of a sudden hit me like a ton of bricks that it needed to be called the bunker. And at the time, that kind of seemed a little bit dramatic, but as things have been unfolding since November, I would say no, not dramatic at all. A bunker is a reinforced space for people to seek refuge and safety during war, during attacks, during bombs. And we've gotten to that point right now in this country anyway, where we are seeing things like our First Amendment, the very foundation of everything that we have taken for granted as Americans, being challenged. And I don't think it would be wise for us to imagine that what we've seen so far is going to be the end. I think it is very likely that we are going to see a lot more censorship, and that we are going to see more of the fundamental rights that the First Amendment provides all of us challenged. And that's very concerning for me as a witch, because one of those 5 fundamental rights that the First Amendment establishes is the right to freedom of religion, the right to practice your own religion, and the right to have no religion if you don't want to. And in the wake of recent events, there's been a lot of talk on social media platforms that I'm not even on, like TikTok and things like that, about people connecting events that have happened in the news with people who call themselves witches. And that concerns me very deeply, because it only takes one scared, fanatical, evangelical individual to start something really dangerous. And I realize now how important it is for us to take what we do and who we are very seriously. And I realize now more than ever how much it doesn't benefit us to have folks involved in the community that don't take what we do seriously, that don't take their own spiritual practices seriously, that don't take their ability to heal or lead seriously. For the folks who think that calling themselves witches is something cute, for the youngsters who just want to scare their high school classmates because they don't want to be bullied, for the people that just like purple sparkly things and shiny crystals. It is going to be very interesting to see how folks like that probably fall off very quickly, should we become the object of attention for our current administration or any other agencies or people that make policy and decisions in this world. So the upside of this is that the phonies, the fakes, the wannabes, the pretenders will inevitably drop off, because it will just be too hot and too scary to continue to identify as a witch, to practice openly, to gather in community, etc. But for the rest of us, for those of us who walk this walk and talk this talk, for those of us who came here to do this, for those of us who don't call ourselves witches because it's funny or scary, but because it's the most accurate description of who we are and what we came here to do, this is the time of our lifetime. This is the time for us to unite with each other. When you look through history and you look at the attacks that have been waged on witches, one of the things that you will find is that individuals have always been targeted, because an individual is weak. But we are so blessed to be alive at a time where we are able to connect with each other in ways never could before the internet and social media. I know about the shop that is being targeted by their local sheriff for offering psychic readings because there's some random old law on the books that says that it's illegal. I know that outside of our country, there are countries like Saudi Arabia and Greece, where these practices are strictly forbidden. We are able to communicate with each other, talk with each other, connect with each other, share strategies, and grow together. And in theory, that should make it harder for any one of us to be unfairly targeted and prevented from doing the things that we came here in this life to do. That we have a ability to do, also by virtue of at least being in this country, we have always had the right to do. So now is the time. Like, I hear a lot of witches all the time, to the point where sometimes I get honestly nauseated with all of the talks of, I'm looking for my tribe, I'm looking for my community. And a lot of times that's a bunch of bullshit. A lot of times that's a bunch of bullshit, if I can be really honest with all of you. I hear that from a lot of people, and it's just not true, because community functions like a village. In a village, nobody just gets to sit on the sidelines while one person or two people do all of the work. In a village, someone's baking the bread while someone's watching the children, while someone else is, sewing the clothing and tending to the herds. Everybody has a role. Everybody has to get involved, and nobody can be lazy and passive and just sitting around for entertainment. A lot of times I have found that when people tell me that they're witches and they're looking for community, really what they mean is they like the idea of it and they would like to be entertained by witchy things and other people that are working to build community. That's going to end. That's going to end. It is time for those of you that are serious about that to get serious about it. If you've been putting that off, if you've been letting life get in the way because life be lifing, that's fine, no judgment. But now is the time to get serious. You don't have to join the bunker. You don't have to be a part of this community if you're not entrepreneurial at all. If the resources and the events that are happening in the bunker are not interesting to you, you don't have to be a part of it. But you need to find something. You need to find your community. And before anyone says that they've tried and they're not there, I promise you they are there. Every single person who has ever tuned into anything that I have posted about an event, a meeting, a group ritual, anything that I have done, that I have gone to, the response is often, oh my God, I wish there was something like that around me. And it has taken no more than a simple Google search to find out that, in fact, there is something like that near you. It has always been the case. I have never spoken to anyone who, after a very brief search, has not been able to find that there's an event, a shop, a group within driving distance of where they are located. So we cannot afford to make excuses anymore. I won't tolerate them when I hear them. Sometimes I want to be, nice and polite, but now is not the time for that. So I'm calling everybody out on that BS. If you are a witch and you know that you come into this world to work your magic, whether it's for yourself, your family, or for the greater public, then now is the time to get serious about doing that. And I don't encourage you to continue to do it or begin doing it alone, because you don't have to. We witches are absolutely everywhere. There are even churches for witches. The Temple of Witchcraft is a legitimately recognized religious institution. There are religions like Wicca. There are churches like the Unitarian Universalist Church that are not necessarily witch churches or churches for witches, but that are very spiritual in nature and very welcoming to witches in a very clear and public way. So we have to cut the crap. We have to stop making excuses. We have to stop playing around with our crystals and sparkly things, casting spells when we have nothing better to do, and watching YouTube videos. You have to get serious. It's time to start making medicine. It's time to start saving seeds. It's time to start casting for yourself on a regular basis. It's time to start engaging in rituals that keep you grounded in your spirituality. It's time to start building relationships, if you haven't already, with your ancestors and your spirit guides. It is time to build community with others out there who share a similar worldview, because our ability to continue to exist as we are depends on it. Okay? So that's the energy we're going into this reading with. All right. What's up, folks on YouTube? Say hi in the comments. Share your teas. This is Tea and Tarot. We just got into some hot, spicy tea. We're going to get into tarot in just a second. I always love to hear what everybody is sipping on. For my bunker witches, if you're wondering what this beautiful room is, this is the Hall of Magic inside of the bunker. It's one of our virtual rooms, and I'm letting you peek into this space. But bunker witches, go ahead and tell me what you're sipping on too. I'm really curious what you guys are enjoying today. I have made a tea that I am thinking, hey Angie, that I am thinking about bringing to the staycation. which is our annual retreat for spiritual and wellness practitioners. Definitely want to see all of you at the retreat. And this tea has been like knocking my socks off. Okay. It is a black tea base with rose petals, cardamom buds, and sweet anise. And she is sexy. She is floral. She's got some clove in her as well. So she's really good for your digestion. And I found the recipe online. I've been loving it so far. And I was thinking about bringing samples to the staycation so we all can enjoy it. But I'm sipping on today. He is having water. Yes, the foundation for tea. There is a book by Janae Marantate called Tea Magic. She was on the BetterWitch podcast as well. And she really reminded me, because I think sometimes we forget, I definitely forget, that tea is water. Like, let's not forget, tea is water. So all of the things that we do spiritually with our water, whether it's drinking it ceremonially, pouring over it, putting water safe crystals into it to imbue a certain energy, leaving it out under the full moon or under the sun to charge with the energy of those celestial planets. You can do all of those things with your tea as well. So I love that you are drinking water, because technically, so am I. All right. So, I am no astrologer. I always say that, but I do line up these readings with astrologically significant transits. We have, child, just so much going on. Is it a new moon tomorrow? It's an eclipse. It is the autumn equinox coming up. So we are shifting, shifting, shifting. And I would not be surprised. I know some of the bunker witches were already mentioning this. If all of you have been having a really intense week, yes, the events that have happened in the public eye are a part of that, but also astrologically, we are at a place where we are being asked to not restart the way you kind of refresh, your laundry every week or whatever it is, but to take a really deep look at who you are in this world and who you want to be going forward. When I think about the eclipses, I think about it as like when you unplug a digital radio. If you've ever unplugged a digital radio, pull it out of the wall, it goes black. There's no energy flowing through it. But then when you plug it back in, not only did you like lose access to that radio for that time being, but when you plug it back in, everything starts over. Your settings are gone. It's blinking 12 o'clock on the dial now. And you have to literally start over. So when we are in eclipse season, that energy is really prevailing. And right now we are still in Virgo season, about to hit Libra. And with that carries a real energy of wanting to analyze and review and reorganize everything that we have gotten used to, that we've been accustomed to. And so that type of energy, I think inevitably is going to lead us to feel really unsettled and off kilter. It's also going to bring up feelings of regret, resentment. Because if you look at your life right now and you realize that it's not what you wanted it to be, whether that's your personal life or your business, your career, your finances, your love life, etc., oftentimes there can be a really heavy feeling of regret and resentment about what mistakes you have made along the way. You look at the things that you didn't take advantage of. You look at the people that you let abuse you for too long. You look at the circumstances that you didn't take seriously. You look at decisions you made that were maybe wasteful or irresponsible or reckless. And it can be really hard to look at and not really come down on yourself, right? Because when you're taking accountability, which is something that witches do, like that's kind of the double-edged sword of being a witch. Being a witch means you realize that you are creating your life and you are impacting the world around you with the decisions that you make. That's a good thing because it means that you are able to create things, do things, shift energy in ways that people who are not witches think that they can't do. So it makes us seem so mystical and powerful. We're not. We're doing things that everybody could do. They just don't because they don't recognize their own power and their own agency to create this world. That's the positive side. The not so positive side is that when you look at the things in your life that don't bring you joy, that are not great choices, or are not planning out the way that you would like, you unfortunately have to acknowledge that you created that too. And on a global scale, when it comes to seeing a world that we are not happy with, we also have to acknowledge the role that we played in creating that world, each of us, ourselves, our ancestors, etc. That the world doesn't just exist. It didn't just pop out of nowhere as it is, with skyscrapers and democracies and dictators and running water. We've created it. And that can be kind of painful, especially when we look at our personal lives and realize that wherever you are and whatever you've experienced, that you played a role in that. And this is not victim blaming. I absolutely acknowledge that there are also other players in the game and that they may have acted in a way that was foul and fucked up and took advantage of you and disenfranchised you or prevented you from creating your best life or making good decisions and all of that. But that doesn't take away the impact that your own choices also played and where you are and who you are and what you're doing. So being a witch is kind of shitty in that regard, because you don't get to just throw up your hands and say, oh, no, it is what it is, because you know that's not true. You know that's not how it works. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to go to Spirit and ask specifically for instructions for how we need to move forward and what actions each of us needs to take in order to create the world that we all want, which is a world where witches are free to practice their religions, their spiritualities, and where people are free to seek us out should they desire our guidance, our products, our services, our insight, our ceremonies, etc. Because a world without the witches isn't just an unfortunate world for the witches. It's also an unfortunate world for everybody else that doesn't get to take advantage of what we offer. For many, many people, Jesus hasn't worked. The witches have. It would be unfortunate if those folks were forced to go without the results that they've had in their lives, the positive things that they've had in their lives, because they no longer have access to the source of that. So we're going to go to Spirit today and we're going to ask what it is each of us to do in our practices as witches, moving forward into this next transit through these next 30 days, in order to ensure that we are shifting, pushing, protecting the energy around a world where witches are free to exist. Okay? And that might not seem like a super business related question, because tarot is a business forecast, but it is. Because at the end of the day, there will be no BetterWitch, there will be no witch work, there will be no witchcraft cocktails, there will be no Adelke's Creative Studios if we are not allowed to practice goodness, right? So we have to have a game plan for what each of us needs to do in order to preserve the rights that we have and keep them going. So I'm going to be pulling a card or a couple of cards for each of the zodiac elements: earth, air, fire, water. I encourage you to listen to all of the ones that relate to your sun, moon, and rising signs. Your sun sign helps you to understand what work you need to be doing internally. Your moon sign message will help you to understand how you can process and regulate your emotions as we enter into what I foresee as a very bumpy next few months. And your rising sign is going to provide you with the message for how you should interact with your clients, your customers, your followers online, your family, your friends, your neighborhood, the general public. Okay. I felt called to grab the True Heart Tarot deck, and I think I know why. This is Rachel True's deck. Shout out to Rachel True. Absolutely adore her. Not familiar. Get it. Okay. Rachel True, of course, played our beloved Rochelle in The Craft, the original. No remakes over here. Okay. If you haven't seen the original together. Rachel True played Rochelle in The Craft, and she played that character really beautifully, in part because she, in fact, is also a spiritual person, someone who reads tarot. She has a young group where she talks about tarot and teaches tarot to her followers, and she created this really, really beautiful deck and wrote this really cool accompanying guidebook that tells the story of her life in Hollywood and creating the craft and what that was like, some of the challenges that she has faced as a person of color, as a woman, as a witch out in the world. She is, I think, somebody that we can look forward to hearing more from as things unfold. And I'm looking forward to hearing from her on her podcast with Matt Oren, in the next book that I know that she's currently working on. So I know why Spirit had me pull this deck. We need to hear from the witches, okay, the OGs, about what to do during these types of really troubling times. I'm going to do that. Let me know in the comments where you want me to start. I think I'll just go with like the first thing I see. But let me know if I should start with water, air, fire, or earth. While folks are dropping their requests in the chat. Hey, Valentonia, what's up, honey? While folks, I saw water. I saw Valentonia's comment over on YouTube first, okay? So, got you. We'll be starting with water, babe. And while I'm getting started, I just want to remind folks that after I'm done with this collective reading, we'll be saying goodbye to YouTube, and I will be in the Hall of Magic that you see on your screen right now in order to take one-on-one questions from any of the better witches that are in the bunker that would like some individual guidance regarding whatever it is really pertinent to you right now. So let's get going. Yes, I know, Val, you're so excited. You got it, girl. All right. Starting with our water signs, sun, moon, or rising water signs. So this is for my Cancers, my Scorpios, and my Pisces. Asking Spirit the game plan. I'm going to pull a card for each of these three components that I was talking about, sun, moon, and rising. What you need to do internally, what you need to do to keep your emotions regulated and clear, and what you need to do as it relates to your public audience. Okay. Okay, water signs, sun, moon, rising, the internal work, the Fool. It's time to go. It's go time, baby. My water signs, it's go time, baby. It's go. That practice, that business, that service, that YouTube channel, that podcast, membership group, that local event, those healing circles, those dance circles, those retreats. It's time to go. It's time to go. Whatever amount of planning you have put into this, you're good. Spirit is saying it's time to step off the cliff. Let's get it done. You have everything that you need. I know it doesn't feel that way. I know it feels like you need more, but you don't. You're being encouraged to get started and build along the way. I once heard that entrepreneurship is jumping out of a plane and building your parachute on the way down. Okay? That is what you are being called to do, water signs, when it comes to the internal work. It's time to say, I am here. This is me. I am doing this. I am getting started. And know that your spirit team is right behind you. Know that they are with you. Know that the reason why you feel so uneasy is because they are pushing you, and they are pushing you to get started even though you feel like you are not quite ready. So this is internal, right? This is the internal work. Who's that? Hey, Takara. This is the internal work, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean that today we're making the video, but this is today deciding that we're doing it. We don't need any more prep time. It's go time. And you need to come to that realization internally. Emotionally, we have the moon in reverse. Not surprising, because we are right now at a moon. But this is telling you that it is time to really connect with the moon and your moon related rituals. Spirit is also saying that you need to connect deeply with the water. You are a water sign. You already know how much calm, how much certainty, how much grounding water gives you. Like, you are interesting water signs, because some people need to like touch ground, touch earth in order to be grounded. It's different for you. You need water. You need to be near the water. You need to be involved in water rituals, praying over your water. Literally everything I was talking about when we started. Making tea with intention, using your knowledge of herbs, your knowledge of the different waters that are available to you to make spiritual baths, to make healing teas, to make floor washes so that you can cleanse your home and keep the energy right in terms of that. You need to be taking full advantage of what the moon has to offer and what the bodies of water around you have to offer in terms of being able to keep you calm and centered. Because yes, stepping off the cliff is scary, horrifying, in fact. I do not diminish that whatsoever. It is going to be the water that helps you stay centered, keeps your nervous system regulated so that you can keep moving forward, even though it is horrifying to do. When it comes to the general public, there are two messages that are coming through for you. The Hierophant is coming up in the reverse. I don't know if you guys can see these cards because this light is bright. Let me make this a little bit bigger so that you can see that imagery. The Hierophant is upside down in the reverse. And the first two things that came through when I saw this is, first of all, you know, it's okay to teach while you learn. I feel like some of you really need to hear that. It is okay to teach while you learn. It's okay to lead while you grow. You do not have to be Supreme Grandmaster of anything before you start teaching. If you are in the second grade, you can teach a first grader everything you learned in the first grade. Can you not? There's a feeling that you want to get to a certain level of mastery before you start sharing your knowledge with the world. And Spirit is saying, for my water signs, as it relates to the public, that is not necessary. That is not necessary. You have a wealth of knowledge already as it is, and you are hiding that. You're keeping that to yourself. You're not sharing it because you feel like there's more work to be done, more classes to be taken, more certifications to be obtained. And Spirit is saying, absolutely not. You are ready now. Stop hiding your knowledge. Spirit wants you to turn this around. So you are capable of leading. There are people waiting to listen to you. There are people that are interested in what you have to say. And for some of you, this is really specifically religious. So there are some of you that might have either religious trauma, or you might be religious, because by the way, witches are religious. There are plenty of religious witches. That's hard to say 5 times fast. There are plenty of religious witches. I consider myself to be one of them because I align with the religion of Wicca. I know. It's so 1990. I get it. Boo-hoo. I still have socks from my 4th grade. So I'm just like that, okay? And I consider myself a Wiccan. I align myself with that religion. If I were going to fill out a form that said, what's your religion? That's the one that I would put. And I adhere, I think, pretty closely to the teachings and the principles of that religion. So being a witch does not mean you're not religious. Hoodoo practitioners, for example, many of them consider themselves to be Christian witches. Many of them identify with the religion of Christianity. They follow Christ. They adopt and follow the teachings of that religion and those practices while also practicing the craft. So it's not the case that witch doesn't equal religious, just so you know. And I feel like some of you already know that because this is very much you. There are some of you that are going to help people to overcome religious trauma and maybe, yes, let go of religion in favor of spirituality and the craft. But there are some of you that are actually bringing together your religious background with your experience in the craft. And there are so many people out there that want to hear from you. There are so many people out there that need to know that they don't have to give up all of the beautiful things about the religion that they maybe were raised in or aligned with at some point in their lives in order to practice the craft and take advantage of all of the benefits that having a spiritual life can also do for you. And the only way to do that is to show up authentically as yourself. Okay? People need to see that. They need to understand that. It might be hard for people to wrap their heads around the concept. So they need to see you doing it. They need to see you going to church and coming home and reading your tarot cards. Okay? They need to see you casting a spell and reading prayers from the Bible. They need to see you in the synagogue wearing your crystals. They need to see it in order to understand that it's real. It's a reality that they can have. And you're hiding that right now. You're compartmentalizing those two parts of your world, and you're not showing the world all of the religious and spiritual knowledge and experience that you have, and you need to start doing that. That's what the public needs to see from you. Water signs. Woo! That one came through fierce. Clock it. Clock it, Valentonia. Clock it. That's what I came to do. To clock this tea. Also, I was following somebody online the other day who said that we are all doing clock it wrong. This is clock it, and this is like cheering for the clock it. I don't know. I'm not the authority on these things. I'm going to do both until someone corrects me. We're just going to clock it. Double clocked. Okay? Water signs, you got that? And let me know if that resonates with you. Better Witches, you can let me know in the chat. YouTube folks, you can let me know in the chat. If you are a water sign, sun, moon, or rising, does that resonate with you? And more importantly, can you do it? Are you ready? Are you prepared to do it? Takara can't hear in the bunker. Oh no. I know my sounds. I know one time I was silent for 15 minutes. It was Mercury retrograde and it was ridiculous. But I think I was chatting with my bunker witches before we went live on YouTube. So I do know that they can hear me. So it might be your device, my love. Check and see if there's anything that's on mute. Okay. It might be your device might be on mute, or your browser maybe. But yes, if you can, okay, if you can log in on YouTube just so you can hear it there, that's good. And then when I say goodbye to YouTube for the one-on-one readings that we're going to have right after this, we'll see what we can figure out over here. Okay, I got you. All right, who's next? Water got first. I'm going to go with whatever I see next in the chat. So next is fire, earth, or air. Whenever I open up my eyes, I'll go with whatever I see. Oh, not the fire cards coming out. Okay, it might be fire. I might have to go with fire because Spirit was like, hey, I think it should be fire next. But drop it down in the chat. Should I do fire, earth, or air? Antonia said, oh, it resonated so much. You vomited and cried. Good Lord. I cry ugly and laugh loud. I got you. I understand. And you're ready. That's what matters. That is what matters. Bravery is not the absence of fear. Bravery is being afraid and doing it anyway. So congratulations to you for being brave. All right. I don't see anything in the chat, so I'm going to listen to Spirit, and I'm going to go with fire next. Fire sign. Sun, moon, rising for my fire sign. I know I've got several Leos in the building. Kara's a Leo, Julia's a Leo. So fire signs, this is for you. Sun, moon, and rising. We're going to be asking Spirit during this transit that we're going through these next 30 days, in order to prepare to fight for a world where witches are able to exist and do what we do. Where do you need to focus your energy internally? How do you regulate your emotions, your nervous system throughout this process, these next few months that are coming up? And what do you do in terms of those who are watching you? If that's your family or a audience. Okay, well, this is to be expected also. Y'all saw me show, right? We are in a moon transit, so there's always like lots of moon energy references. We have the moon here again, but this time it is in the upright in terms of the work that needs to be done internally. So fire signs, there's some illumination happening right now. I really totally understand if you are a fire sign, and especially a fire sun sign, and you have been feeling a bit more confused than usual. And this resonates with me deeply because I told you guys at the top that I have not been sleeping well this week. And last night I was up really late because I was pulling my little witchy eyes out. Because yes, big bad Bronx witch, she cried like a baby. And last night was a lot of things came up for me. A lot of regrets, resentments. My marriage has ended. I'm divorcing and looking back over my decision to be in that relationship in the first place, for how long, the ways that's impacted me spiritually, energetically, financially, this business that I have been growing, the things that are working, the things that are not, the things that I still don't feel like I have figured out. There is a really heavy cloud of uncertainty around my fire signs right now. The good news is that the dawn is on the way. Okay. And there are messages that are being communicated to you. And it's so crazy because I think Adelki was talking about nightmares and dreams. And this is a message coming through really strongly of dreams, because in this particular deck, this symbol around the moon, try to focus on it, this symbol around the moon here is a reference to the Archangel Metatron, who is a angel of communication. He is God's talking piece. Okay. Hey, Lauren, what's up? And so there is a really, really, really strong energy of you receiving messages at night, particularly during the next couple of days of this eclipse. So if there's anything that you do that typically interferes with your dreams, for example, for me, that's smoking cannabis. If I smoke cannabis, I do not dream. So I haven't been doing that lately, and I definitely won't be doing that over the next few days because of this message, because I really want to dream my little sad little baby dreams. Some of y'all have amazing vivid movie dreams, and I definitely really do jealousy, but whatever the like other word for that would be, that's how I feel. Because a lot of times I'm just like, spirit, just can you just, I want to see the ghost. Like, just let me see it and shit. You know what I mean? So I don't have to be like feeling everything. I know it's there. Like I want to be able to see it. And I have friends that are really, really psychic, and they see these very clear, like premonition type dreams, where, you know, they see people in a dream and they see them the next day, like all that type of stuff. And I'm always like, why don't I have any of the cool powers? Well, it's like, I can read really quickly. Well, that's not cool. You know, I want one of the cool powers. So for all my dreamers and clairvoyance, that's definitely what I consider to be a cool power. And for my fire signs that are clairvoyant, please pay very close attention to what comes through in your dreams over the next couple of nights as we go through this eclipse. That feeling of confusion and uncertainty about what it is that you need to do next is going to be revealed to you. And that's the space where you want to be paying attention for those signs and symbols. Okay. They will definitely be coming through before this moon phase ends. So pay close attention to that. In terms of regulating your emotions, it's work. It's work. And this resonates with me so deeply because I feel like since the beginning of August, where my birthday was, I basically like, Leos, we celebrate our birthday all month long. Period, point blank, every year, no matter what. We're always like, oh, I'm going to take it easy this year because I'm not really feeling it. Next thing you know, halfway through August, we're like, it's our 4th birthday party. Like, we get a little carried away. We celebrate our birthdays for extended periods of time. And I feel like I did that all the way through until like literally very recently. And it's kind of all come to a head where it's like, it is now time to get back on the ground. Some of you might have noticed online, I posted about this, something called the Great Lockdown. The witches are doing the Great Lock-In, but from September to December, really grinding it out. Whatever routines, whatever workflows you might have started at the beginning of the year, you fell off of working out or whatever it was. Okay, take a deep breath. It's time to get back on it. And that is what is going to keep you feeling regulated as we go into this moon phase. But I really feel like this is going to extend for you sun signs into the end of the year. To keep yourself regulated through everything that's coming down the pike, staying focused on your work, not worrying so much about who's consuming it, where the work is going, who's congratulating you, is the money coming in? First of all, yes, the money will be coming in. That is going to be inevitable, but that literally, don't even let that distract you. Don't let that, bonus at work, or that extra paycheck, or you booked another client, or you sold a bunch of candles, you got a big order. Don't let that distract you. Really put your pedal to the metal, really stay focused on your work. This is like tonight. All of my besties are out at my favorite bar and restaurant drinking my favorite whiskey for free. But I had work to do. So we are here, right? So this is the energy fire signs for your emotional regulation. And this is like understandable for fire signs. We're a little bit weird. Our sense of calm really comes from our productivity. We don't actually like burn out that often. We enjoy the work that we do. And so lean into that. Don't get distracted. Don't get lazy, because if you let yourself fall behind, that's only going to contribute to this feeling of confusion. Okay. So now is the time to produce and work, produce and work, produce and work. Everybody's always like, oh, hustle culture. Da, 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 da. Fuck that. Sometimes you got to hustle. You see Cardi B? She out here selling CDs on the train. If I was Cardi B, would never touch the fucking subway. Kidding me? Okay, not even for a promo stunt. Fuck out of here. I'll take the train no more. All right. That's the type of hustle. And that's what just popped in my mind is Cardi B's album rollout. And I want you all to go watch her interview with Gayle King. Okay. Yes. That resonates, says Takara. I want you all to go, sun signs. I want you all to go and watch the interview with Cardi B and Gayle King. I want you to listen to her talk about how it does not matter that she is pregnant, how her label and the tour management company all came to her and say, hey, you're preggers, no problem, we can delay that, we can pause that. And she's absolutely not, absolutely not. And she talks about her ancestors. She talks about her grandmother on both sides, her mother, paternal and maternal grandmothers. She talks about how many children they had. She talks about how much work they did and what they were able to accomplish, and how ridiculous she feels with all the resources available to her that her ancestors never had, to make excuses or to be lazy or to take the easy way out. I want you to go listen to that, sun signs. That's everybody's homework. If you are a sun sign, sun, moon, rising, if you want to make sure that what happens in the next few months, and you want to make sure that you are contributing to creating a world, I feel like it's weird to say creating because we already have this world, but protecting a world where witches have the right to exist and do what we do. Work on your practice, your business, your services, whatever it is that you are bringing into this world as a witch, really hunkering down over these next few months. I keep being drawn to the 5 pentacles that are on the tree. So this is a message for this moon phase, but it is also for the next 5 months. This is going to take us through to January. We will get to the end of January and you will feel so freaking amazing if you kept your pedal to the metal for that whole time. The rewards, I can just see it. The rewards that are going to be coming in as a result are going to be immense. Now, the public. What is it that you need to let those around you see? Fire signs. We have the 10 of Swords in the reverse. And another reference here to the moon. It's done. There is a big transformation. I'm just hearing trans. There is a big shift that you have already undergone this year. You are getting the encouragement, and if you need it, the permission from Spirit to now show up in the world as that new version of yourself. And it feels very like it might be very different from what other people have seen from you. You might be dressing very differently. You might adopt a whole new look. You might be speaking very differently, where people literally might be reacting like, oh my gosh, like, I thought you were so nice. Or like in the reverse, like, oh, I thought you were so mean. Like, who is this version of you? Like, people are going to actually notice this difference. This is not like a fluffy, oh, I've grown type of thing. This is like, no. I laid a certain version of me to rest. I buried that bitch. I buried her. She is done. And now what is reemerging is a version of you that maybe no one's ever seen. So be prepared for how that might shake people up. If you have a platform on social media or something like that, it might be people unfollowing. It might be people being like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you had this view. I didn't know these were your values. I didn't know that's what you wanted to talk about, what you were all about. So be prepared for that. But that version of you was absolutely done with. She was not serving you. She did what she could. And she is the one, quite frankly, that made the mistakes, the decisions that brought you to where you are right now. If you are turning things around in your own life, you cannot move forward with that version of you anywhere near it. So understand that while it might ruffle some feathers, you simply cannot move forward unless you allow this new version of you to do it. Okay? So, fire signs, I'm expecting to see, some new hairdos. I'm expecting to see, some new platforms. I'm expecting to see some new services. I'm expecting to see some big departures from what has been expected of you, what you've expected of yourself, and the way you've typically navigated in life. Okay? And the public is ready to see it. That's what you need to show the new you. Right? Fire signs. I know we've got some fire signs in the bunker. Let me know if that resonated, what you took away from that. I know that resonated deeply for me, but I am the one doing the reading, so that is to be expected. Whew. Clear the air, clear the energy before we move on. Okay, cool. I love it. Wadalki and Angie are having a side convo. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That's what the chat is for. And I love that you guys can do that. I love that you're able to talk to each other because you can't do that on YouTube. So I really like that you're able to talk to each other while we're in these spaces together. I really like our virtual rooms. I hope you guys enjoy them too. And Takara, welcome to the bunker. I think you were already in here though. But welcome to Tea and Tarots. I think this might be the first one we've been in. Okay. Earth and air next. We're going to cut your hair today. Look at that. You got sound now. Of course, our resident engineer, Lauren Berg, helped out with the sound. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I love that. I love that you guys, I couldn't even see that. So you guys are able to talk to each other and nobody else can see it. I love that. Shout out to Go Brunch for this platform. I am eternally grateful. Hey, thank you, Lauren Berg. Always good to have an engineer around. Kara's a lawyer. Dalky's an artist. Julia's a bartender, mixologist, witchy mixologist extraordinaire. This is the village, y'all. We could rebuild society right up in here. Okay? We got everybody with a different skill. Okay? I love that for us. I love that for us. Okay? This world is going to hell in a handbasket. Now all we can do, we can just come right in here, do our own little thing. Okay? I love that. All right, next we have earth and air. Earth and air. Any requests? First comment I see will be next. Shall we do earth? Shall we do air? Let me know. What do I see first? Ooh, I saw air first. Okay. Air signs, air signs, air signs. So this is going to be air signs, sun, moon, rising. This is for my Libras, my Geminis, my Aquariuses. Sun, moon, rising. Asking Spirit, how do the air signs protect this world where witches have the right to exist, that they can do the work that they came here to do? What is the work they need to do internally, emotionally, and in the public eye? Air signs, we are getting right with our coin. Can I get an amen? Air signs, internally, it's time to kind of pull it in a little bit. The energy of this feels like not isolating, because isolating sounds like a little, depressing sometimes, but this is need to not include quite so many folks in everything that you have going on. Not everybody needs to know everything that you're planning. Not everybody needs to know everything that you are manifesting in particular. Everyone needs to know what you're fasting for. Not everyone needs to know what your vision is. I feel like this is also important because air sign, naturally, you can sometimes, waffle a little bit, okay? It's within your nature. You are the air. You go very easily kind of back and forth. And so you can sometimes come across as indecisive or flaky. And it's important for you to really let yourself move through those back and forths until you're absolutely certain about something, and not share it with others until you get to that. This is really important as it relates to what's happening in the world right now, because it's important for you to be really certain about who you are, what you stand for, what you can do, what your products can do, what your services are capable of, what you care about, what you want to offer to the world. All of that is something that you really want to be certain of before you bring it to anybody, because these types of practices are potentially coming under greater scrutiny. And so it does not serve you well to be questioned, analyzed, critiqued until you're certain of where you stand and what you're here to do and what you're capable of. Okay. So if you're starting that tarot practice, for example, folks don't need to know until you're ready to start taking your clients. Get certain with yourself before sharing it with others or involving others in it. There's also a message here about like literal socializing, because your finances are impacted. You're going to be needing the money that you have for greater activities, for greater things that you want to do. And so it's going to be time for the next few months for you to kind of reel it in on the socializing, just because money is spent when we do that. Okay, so be wise about where you're spending your time, who you're spending it with, and making sure that you're not overdoing it, you're not overspending financially, you're not overexerting yourself emotionally, spiritually, etc. There's just a warning here about overindulging, oversharing, overdoing it. In order to keep your emotions regulated during this time, your finances definitely really mine right now. I can really feel that. What's going to be important for you is that you just start at the beginning. You start at the beginning. Okay, this feels like a situation where like your money does what it wants. Like, you don't have a good grasp on it. You don't really understand it or how it functions. It feels like, if someone were to ask you, like, how much money is in your bank account right now, like you couldn't answer, or like how many credit card debts do you have right now, like you couldn't answer. The key to bringing in groundedness, centeredness, clarity, peace over these next few months is to start. Okay, this is not the King of Pentacles. Your spirit guides are acknowledging that they recognize that you are new to this. Don't be afraid of that. Don't avoid it, and don't come down too hard on yourself just because of it. Spirit is saying, we get it. You are new to this. You are not used to saving or investing or watching your finances, keeping a spreadsheet, etc. You're not used to that. That's okay. What is not okay is for you to not get started on learning how to do those things, because that financial uncertainty is only going to add to any other stresses that come away over these next months. And this is also going to be important for the public. How you regulate your money and being smart with your money is actually going to be a part of how you interact with the world. So whether this is having an impact on your family, maybe your children see what you're doing, your family members see what you're doing, they get motivated. You might collaborate with people and say, let's start a susu, let's start a joint savings account, let's start investing together. Or it might be the general public at large, for those of you that are practitioners and have a public audience, or content creators and have a public audience. This might look like talking to your audience about the changes that you're making in your financial life. There's no need to hide this from people and keep it to yourself. There might be a certain level of shame that makes sense with the Princess of Pentacles coming up here. So there might be a certain level of shame that you have of not being further along in your finances, not being more knowledgeable about money or about your financial situation. But the people that are in your view, the people that are around you, are not interested in you being perfect. They are interested in being aware. They are interested in being inspired, interested in being taught. And so talking about what you're going through financially and bringing them into that, you might do a savings challenge on your social media pages. You might set a goal to, make a certain amount in sales and tell your audience about that. You might start a fundraiser, a Kickstarter for a project, and let the general public actually be a part of raising the money that you need to make that thing come to be. Include them in that process. Right? From them out of shame about being new to the world of financial management and responsibility. They will respond really positively from seeing that from you. Okay. So that was water, fire, air, and now we have earth. When I am done with the earth sign reading, we'll be saying goodbye to everybody over on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, YouTube. And my better witches who are in the Hall of Magic inside the bunker right now. I will be able to take any one-to-one questions for anyone who has them. So if you are interested in getting a message that is personal to you this evening, then the bunker is where you are going to want to be. If I did this right, then there should be a link in the description that will allow you to join us. It is free for the first 7 days to join the bunker. So join us, participate, take a look around, introduce yourself in the discussion feed, say what's up, enjoy the conversations, and see if it's the right space for you. If you do join this evening, once you're inside of the bunker, you're just going to go to the event tab for the link to join us inside of the Hall of Magic. I also want to let everybody know The next tea and tarot is my favorite one of the year. Next tea and tarot will be around Samhain, and this is going to be my vision board live stream. Laura Laurenberg, Valentonia. I think there are several of you that have been a part of that live stream. I think this is the 5th year now that I have gone live to make my vision board with you. Y'all know I manifested not only my Usher concert VIP experience last year, but I got to meet the man face to face just last week. Exactly as I pictured it, exactly as I put on my vision board. Okay, that definitely takes the best manifestation so far, just because it was so freaking perfect, exact to what I put on my board, even down to my nails, like crazy good. So I am a huge fan of vision boarding. This is a practice I will never stop. And I do it at Samhain because that's my new year. I'm a Wiccan, neo-pagan. So that's my new year, spiritually and energetically. But you don't have to do it at that time of year. You can do a vision board at any time. But I like to do my vision board live so that we can do ours together. If you also feel like Samhain is an energetic start for yourself or a time for you to want to make a vision for what next year holds, then you're going to want to definitely tune into that live stream. And if you aren't on my mailing list yet, definitely do that. Bunker Witches, I'm going to post in the bunker on the feed. If you're not a Bunker Witch, join my mailing list. If you're not ready to join the bunker, get on my mailing list, because I will be posting in the bunker and sending out emails to tell you guys how to prepare for the vision board tea and tarot. Okay? Do not wait until the day of tea and tarot to decide you want to make a vision board and start looking for pieces of cardboard and magazine cutouts and all that stuff. Don't do that. So I am going to send you my recommendations, my instructions for how I prepare for my vision board night. I've already been cutting stuff out of magazines. I've already been making mental notes and writing down things that I want to put on there. So I'm going to send out instructions for how you can prepare and be ready, what tools, glue, tape, etc. you should have with you, so that you can make your board right along with me. And we usually hang out for a couple of hours. We might enjoy a little bit of cannabis. We might enjoy a little bit of tea, and we will certainly have tarot, and we will make our vision boards, and we will manifest next year. So that is what the next tea and tarot is going to be all about. So it'll be a little different. Not reading, board making. Very excited. I also want to tell all of my better witches in the bunker that I will not be in the expansion session tomorrow morning because we have tea and tarot autumn equinox party at Witchwork tomorrow. So I was at Witchwork, tea and goodie bags and all that good stuff. And so I will be out at the park early, setting up. We have a whole day of events. So I won't be able to do the expansion session. But the beauty of the bunker rooms is they are all available to you at all times. And I know a couple of you have been to utilize these spaces when I am not there. So feel free to go into the bunker main room tomorrow morning and still have your expansion session. What I'm doing does not impact what you're doing, right? You have set that time aside for yourself to work on your spiritual business, and please enjoy the room. You're welcome to come into it and allow it to help you to focus and utilize that sacred container to get some work done. Okay? But the room will be open. I won't be in it outside. All right, Earth signs. Earth signs, your internal work, the very first thing I heard was stop being stubborn. Each of you will come to that in your own capacity with your own understanding. Okay. But for my earth sign, sun, moon, or rising, Stop being stubborn was the very first thing that came through. Next is stingy. Ooh, okay, burn. Sorry, earth signs. That's the message. Stop being stubborn and stop being stingy. It's fine to go slowly. It's fine to be cautious. It is fine to take your time. But there's a difference between being cautious, being analytical, thinking things through, and just being stuck. And right now, it feels like you are getting pushes and pulls to make investments of some kind. So this might be investments in yourself, your business. You're being encouraged to make investments and you are standing still. Whatever that's about, this eclipse, this autumn equinox, these next few days is where you want to face that. It's time to face that. It's time to acknowledge that you might be telling yourself, I'm just being careful, I'm just being cautious. And the reality is that you are actually just refusing to make forward progress. Most likely out of fear. Really understandable. But now is the time to decide, am I going to move forward or am I not? Because the fear is not going anywhere. So are you going to let it keep you where you're at? Or are you going to push forward despite it? That is the internal work that you need to do this eclipse season over these next couple of days. Emotionally, it's time to also let yourself be emotional. I feel like there is some type of difficulty with shedding a tear, letting yourself cry, letting yourself scream, maybe even the positive emotions, letting yourself laugh, letting yourself be joyous, letting yourself cry. These two energies feel very related. By not allowing yourself to move forward, you're also not allowing yourself to experience and express all of the emotions that you could be. It's almost like you're holding yourself back because you're afraid to be seen as happy. So what is that about? Sometimes we get into a place in our lives where we're so comfortable being unhappy that being happy, being at peace, being successful, being prosperous, they feel so foreign to us that we choose the opposite because that's just easier. We know it better. We choose sadness because we're so used to being sad that at least that's something we understand. Happiness might feel foreign to you. Prosperity might feel foreign to you. Comfort and ease might feel really foreign to you. Joy might feel foreign to you. And Spirit is saying, embrace emotion. Yeah, it's true. You haven't really gotten to feel that way before. But don't let that keep you stuck in misery and sadness, etc. That's really powerful. There's a hesitation to be happy. There's a fear of joy. There's a fear of ease that you're experiencing. Oh, okay. Yeah, Spirit felt that. So allow this eclipse to pull that out of you. Allow it to really just crying your eyes out maybe for the first time in a while, acknowledging that you have actually become comfortable in your discomfort, so much so that you're afraid of what it could be like if everything actually did just work out for once. That has to be faced. You have to recognize that that's what's stopping you from making forward progress. It's not the stuff you're telling yourself, oh, I need to check this out, or oh, this isn't quite just right, or it's none of that. You're not making forward progress because you're actually afraid and unsure of what it would be like to actually have this work, to actually finish it, to actually get to the end of the race, to actually succeed. When it comes to the public, allowing people to see this liberation is going to be really helpful. I think people are going to notice it even if you don't put it on display. So for those of you that don't have a public audience, aren't on social media, don't have a lot of friends, family, whatever, that's fine. It doesn't matter. People are going to notice. They're going to notice this weight lifted off of your shoulders. They're going to notice a lightness about you. They're going to notice that you become significantly less uptight, less high strung, less tense. So it doesn't feel like you need to do anything, unlike, the other signs. Like, you don't need to do anything to declare anything. Just allow it to happen, and people are literally going to feel from you like, oh, wow, okay, that was easy. Usually you would be attitude about that, or you'd be hard to talk to about that. Like, people are going to notice a lightness about you because this weight of your own wallowing is going to be lifted. People are going to notice it. Okay. Witches. That is everybody. Earth, air, fire, and water. For my folks tuning in on YouTube, I pray that these messages resonated with you deeply. We are at a very scary and uncertain time where I do believe we are entering another period where the witches are going to need to fight to protect their right to exist, to practice, to serve. And each of us needs to get ready for that. That is what the bunker is for. And so that is where I'm going right now to meet with my better witches, my soldiers on the front lines. It is time for us to strategize and connect with each other. So I'm going to pop in there to do some one-on-one readings for anybody who would like it. If you are still watching on YouTube and you would like to join us, the link to become a bunker member should be down in the description. You're going to want to navigate to the events tab inside of the bunker to find the link to tonight's tea and tarot that will bring you into this very special sacred room that we are in together. So thanks so much, YouTube. It was absolutely fantastic. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all the good things. You can leave a super thanks, by the way, also, if this resonated. Like, I am not opposed to being paid for my work. So you can do that too. And I will see all of you sometime soon. Better witches, here I come.